Man, y'all already know what time it is. You're now tuned in with your guys, DJ. Man, y'all already know what time it is. You're now tuned in with your guys, Joe T.
D. Johns.
And this is two grown men having a conversation. I was wondering if he was going to try me.
I'm letting it ride. I'm letting it ride. It's all content.
What's up, though? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man, honestly.
That's what's up.
Out the gate, I'm feeling good.
I felt it when I came through the door.
Yeah. I mean, you came in with the pearly white.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was the archangel.
I was feeling good, too.
Michael, the archangel, came through the door. I said, gracious.
I was feeling good this morning myself, man. I was feeling good, man. Just got back from Jamaica.
I was going to ask you about it before we got started. It looked like you were shuffling your feet.
Real good.
It looked like you were shuffling your feet this weekend. I said, okay.
Yeah, I was most definitely.
So, all right.
Yeah, man, much needed, man. Felt refreshed when I got there, and when I came back, I was.
Yeah.
I
was a little envious. I ain't gonna front. I was like, man, I remember that life.
Yeah.
Just be out.
It's coming back?
No. that me and wifey maybe.
Yeah.
I'm always have somebody in tow if I'm going somewhere.
For sure.
Yeah.
I didn't go alone.
I won't gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, definitely living your life.
Right.
I'm on the periphery.
Yeah, man. Other than that, how you feeling, man? What you got going?
Man, it's been I'm actually interested in this month closing out, man. This month I didn't started all the podcasts with woe is me. Not on some sympathy, but I'm God got it, man. Let's get into a new month. And from there, actually from here, because I got control of the day, of how I feel today. But I'm anxious about May, my son graduating, my family be here, so you get to connect. My parents, parents and my sister and her husband have anniversaries in May. Yeah. It's always encouraging to see people further down the road than you. My parents will be 53 years, I believe, that they've been married. So it's dope, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I'm good today. How you?
I'm embracing the new season all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of what I was going. I feel like I was kind of going through a season where I wasn't hearing.
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing, but
you didn't like what you was hearing. I ain't put it on you.
Even in that, it got to a point of where I was like, why am I not hearing, or why am I feeling like I'm not seeing clear? And that answer was, what if he just expected me to do what was confirmed?
That's what we said before. God gives you confirmation. You can't respond with your with your conditions.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah. Why am I sitting here waiting for answers when it's been answered? Why am I waiting for the go when he said go? And a lot of times in the go, because of experience now, I know he ain't telling me what the middle place may look like.
Rarely.
And the middle place could get a little tough.
I'm ready to come out the middle, Lord. So as soon as you see fit.
Listen.
Or as soon as I see fit. I mean, I'm saying it's no.
And he might get a little quiet in the middle place. But what I saw and what I heard was true.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then knowing that, had to make sure I was still keeping that mustard seed.
I didn't know what you was reaching for.
You know what?
What we doing?
Yeah, man. So I'm good. I'm good, man. But so I was having a conversation with one of my. Before I do that, commercial break me, please. For the ones for the young generation who like to post stuff on your social media and say tap in, the feds is watching. They will get you.
That's a freebie.
I got somebody, man, that I had been seeing on social media that had been saying tap in. And they tapped in while he was saying tap in.
Tap. Whole line tap.
I was like, man, our generation didn't display, what the heck going on like this generation. For some reason, they just really feel like everybody should know everything.
And we gotta be mindful of how the times change, though. It won't really an option for us. Unless you ran around being loud, that's how people would know.
No.
If somebody ran their mouth. But now, this generation has only known a cell phone to watch movies, talk to people across the world, shop, like to do all of these things. I came up with a cell phone, didn't even have names in it. And if you forgot the number, so you technically either still had to write it down on a piece of paper so you know who you call. You don't want to make that mistake twice.
True.
But I mean, that's all they know.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Well, you going to jail
twice.
But,
twice on today.
Well, man, look. So I'm talking to my cousin yesterday, and we got on the subject of soul ties, and I disagreed. I was like, I don't believe in soul ties, and he was like, why? I was like, well, I will have a whole lot of them for one. I was like, I don't have the same emotional attachment or whatever the way people describe the soul tie to everybody that I have come across. Why would there's people, and I'm gonna be transparent, it's women that I've slept with, multiple. It's multiple women that I have slept with, no ties at all. And was cool with them. I've had sneaky links 2 years at a time. Like 2 years plus. It was literally link, boom, boom, boom. Hey, might seem she was with somebody, she might have nothing said, nothing felt. And then we decide, we ain't gonna do this no more. I was like, cool. I've had women that I've been in, I guess, relationships or got close to people where I feel like it was harder for me to detach. I'm wondering if most people would say, well, that was a soul tie. My question gonna be, well, what about the rest of them? Because by the time I was 18 years old, I had slept with almost 100 women. I didn't have 100 soul ties.
That you're aware of?
Well, how do I?
I wanted there's a definition because we're about to get very opinionated. I already see it.
Why are you looking for the definition?
Yeah.
I also said to cuz, I said, there's nothing biblical to attach that neither. The soul tie. I said, if you want to say those are spirits, are we saying that the soul tie, are we saying that's a spirit?
Oh, look at you. Soul tie refers to a deep, often spiritual or emotional connection between two individuals, often exceeding the typical bond of friendship or even a romantic relationship. So maybe I'm backing off my position.
No!
Because I'm thinking, but based on the definition, my whole thing was if you had sex as a soul tie.
Okay, why?
Just what I heard growing up. I don't even know if it was like overtly taught, but because there wasn't a whole lot of conversations about sex and the ramifications of sex other than God said don't do it if you're not married. So outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot of context in the house for it. So you jumped out there with your number. Jeez.
Yeah. It's in the book.
It's not in my book.
It's all in the
commercial break, me please. This book right here, Dear Son, 20 Life Prompts That Facilitate Effective Parenting. I don't think I've ever said it on this show. Maybe I have, but I didn't have it handy. But that's by the time you see this, it's gonna be available. Final edits are in right now. But it's not in that book. So you use your imagination to leave me alone, stay on my life. How about that?
Hey, look here.
For once.
For sure.
But that was the reference. So I may have just been living with a false reference. Like actually, I never had a desire to actually read to see what a soul tie is outside of what others' opinions, the common opinion, which typically becomes somebody's truth. True. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I had you. As soon as you said that, because we started talking.
Yeah.
And I let on. I said I believe in them. Then we stopped, and you got on here. I don't believe in them. I said,
you notice how they say that, right?
Okay.
You notice how they say that.
Let's go.
I said, we're going.
I thought this was gonna be the one where we out separate windows. Okay.
Yeah.
But given that definition, I understand what you're saying now. So soul tie by definition does not equate to just the act of sex alone. I can, based on the definition, I can revise my position. Dang, I thought I had you.
Let's look at let's look at a stalker, or what someone would call a creep.
Okay.
That just over the phone or watching on social media. To him, he has a strong.
Okay, I got you. Got me finished. I ain't mean to.
Is that can we define that as a soul tie?
The definition makes it fit.
It's a spirit.
It like you latching on to something in a deeper way based on whatever. It doesn't give conditions or qualifications for what leads to it.
What leads to it, yeah.
It just says, and so you're right. So that person that's
infatuated,
if like deeply,
yeah, that's the spirit operating in that person.
I'll accept that.
If and same way with I was molested, young age.
Sure, not sure, but
right. I feel like spirit transfer. People would say soul tie. I would say I was introduced portal, something open.
Yeah.
Open my
way before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I become promiscuous.
Yeah.
But everybody that I slept with, penetrated, well, however, I didn't automatically have a soul tie. But that spirit that was operating in me, I'm moving that way. I will go deeper into trauma.
Yeah.
Some people, childhood trauma, maybe daddy issues, maybe neglect, whatever the case may be, abandonment issues, rejection.
Yeah.
You might have had an intimate relationship or relations with somebody, and based on things you haven't healed from, those spiritual things internally, you done internalized that as a soul tie, your connection, because but you were already battling with those spirits within you. You feel what I'm trying to say?
I do. I'm wondering where we're gonna hit a speed bump on the spiritual, or what do you believe in terms of what the word requires or guides or its principles around sex?
The words say once you become intimate, it's really marriage. In the scripture, when he said, when they brought the woman, if I'm remembering right, when they brought the woman,
the husband,
the man, and he said, and
she didn't literally have
the woman at the woman at the well.
Yeah.
When she said, I've only, and he said, no, you've been with.
Okay.
You've been with multiple.
She didn't think he was saying you have these husbands because of the act.
Yeah.
Is the interpretation. And I'm gonna be very clear that this is gonna cause me to go back and do some research, because a lot of my undoing now is finding out for me what I've accepted over time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in a traditional Christian family. Maybe the religion wasn't traditional. Religion was a little bit more strict than others in the Christian faith. But when there's such a pronounced, repetitious, thus saith the Lord in your house, a lot of that you accept from your parents, not necessarily based on your relationship with God or your actual studies.
True.
So I'm gonna be clear, and I'm not making excuses. I believe a lot of sexual encounters that I've had were not of God, for sure. And I have a more mature understanding of why one partner could make sense. And not just jump into it, because it's what I believe is the more partners that you have, the more experience or the more things that you become open to. And at some point, you try to find all of that in one person.
Facts.
When you get married.
Yes.
And it doesn't turn off.
It does not turn off.
So it's not hypocritical saying, don't live your life. I mean, be mindful how you live your life, because I live mine. But I know that is a challenge, a very real challenge when you get into marriage. And all of those experiences and memories don't go away.
No.
That's why adjacent things are traps or can be slippery slopes too. Like we just gonna get into it, like masturbation.
Come on with it.
There are people that, and I know there's a verse that says don't spill the seed, but I think that has something to do with the man whose brother died, and he had to help. He was supposed to sleep with the widow to continue the family name. Check that. Check everything that I'm saying, because again, I'm not on here as a minister of anything. But for me, what convicted me was, where does my mind go when I'm in that act?
What are you inviting in?
That's even further. I'm talking about just if I had to go back to the Rolodex, is it actually my wife?
Come on.
All the time, it wasn't. So that was the conviction for me. And I think that's an important thing. Me and my dad had a conversation the other day about I'm in Revelation.
Come on with
it. There was no other books.
What's up?
I got through Jude and I was like,
Yeah.
After Jude, what do we do? So
Yeah.
I asked my pops about some questions. And the way that he responded made sense to me. And it was a difference from how he ran his house. He was like, son, the conviction has to come from you and your understanding through the Holy Spirit. You can follow all the rules that you want and just be a rule follower. But if you're not actually convicted of it, it won't actually change how you live your life. You'll be living a life of fear. Or who were the Pharisees? Who were the ones that were like the law keep, like the
Pharisees and Sadducees?
Yeah, they letter of the law is what they try to manage people by. So it was. That's what I'm at in my life now, and it's not a convenience thing. Like, oh, I ain't convicted. No, I smoke crack. I ain't convicted of that. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but that like those be the people got these personalized religions. Though I'm not.
Come on with it.
I'm not. I don't think any religion is gonna get you to heaven. I think I understand what religions could do for you, but your relationship is going to be the ultimate. Your conviction is following Christ.
Right.
What was I going? But yeah, so just now certain things as I'm going through scripture and having to ask questions and have to get references as to what the context of it is, I'm starting to be convicted of things that I just at one point accepted, realized I didn't understand it, and now I'm like, oh, so that's how I can get how some people can move past the thing, and it's not the thing that they argue or try to, build a campaign on. I don't have a campaign on don't masturbate. There's some medical, some science out there that says what it will or won't do, and you can find pros and cons to both. But for me, the spiritual aspect of it is like what, and you said inviting into, because porn was another thing, but porn I moved past. But the reality is those scenes are still in my head. So what do you go to when you're trying to satisfy whatever that urge is? Even if you're not masturbating, if you're with somebody, you could be with somebody and that person could just be the object that's there and your mind is.
Yeah. That's really one of the toughest things. I can testify to that. 10 years in prison, watched a lot of,
Yeah.
And then if I'm gonna be transparent, other than the woman that I did but when I was on Max, after that, there is it's a such thing as it's called death grip syndrome. Death grip syndrome, for the people who listen that has a problem with masturbation, is to the point where you do it so much you lose sensitivity. And when you lose that sensitivity, now you're wondering why it's taking you longer to climax, or the woman probably wondering why it's taking you so long to get there. And a lot of men don't even know that is the issue.
Yeah.
Stemming back to, it's a whole different, it ain't just penetrate your mind. It did something to you physically. Yeah. The mind is the worst part, though. The mind is the worst part. Because now you have a false representation of, in my opinion, of what love is, for one. and now you're trying to do things and you're wondering what, like, it's just unrealistic.
Even if it's not what love is, what a good substitute is for it.
Right. My struggle with that has been, that's a hard thing to heal. And the best way to do it is to be honest. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The best way to deal with it is to face yourself and realize you sick.
Can't control it.
You can't, because people have to understand that when you say you turn something over to the Most High, you're admitting I can't control this.
Yeah.
And if you don't help me, I'll listen. Sanctification, let me say this first. Sanctification is a process. It removes the power and growth of sin.
Right. It's not overnight.
You have to apply that in the areas where it's a stronghold for you, like convictions.
Yeah, we talking.
That would be one of my strongholds versus, oh, I can just quit that.
Yeah.
So, and then doing that, it has to be certain practices. You have to give yourself grace. I didn't do it as much as I normally would. I got better.
It's a step.
You might fall short.
Yeah.
But over time, continue to celebrate your growth of it falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I can't do is us get on here and front in the areas where we've overcome.
Yeah.
And only talk about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you can find any. It's easy to campaign on something that never appealed to you.
Ooh.
Like me, I can today. Somebody calls, say, "We got this. Don't stop smoking cigarette campaign." I'll be there. I'll stop this recording and go there now because it's not it's never been a problem for me.
Mm.
And while it's noble, you know, to promote that, it has no effect on me. It didn't take any sacrifice for me to do that. But if you talk about something else where I'm still struggling, I'm to the point now where I'm cool talking about it and not worried about how I'm judged about it. But I hope it'll help somebody talk about their thing to whoever.
Right.
You got to talk back to me.
Real talk. And that's one reason why I love my platform and this. Like I'm an open book. Yeah. Like I've like David said, man, I've wronged no man. You know, me trying to hide my wounds from you or my skeletons or it's not helping me. I don't want to, you know, deceive myself about, you know, who I can be that nobody else can see. Things that I do, people don't know.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you giving more into it because you go behind that door, you come out, everybody, man, hey, man, I'm telling you the whole time you're a monster. You sick. I'm talking about awful. I don't want to be that person, so I don't mind, you know what I'm saying, sharing. You know what I'm saying? So with the soul tie thing, I think the reason why I said the ultimate reason why I don't is because I believe that I have, me personally, certain spirits that are working in me that just trigger certain things to make me feel more attached. My father not being there or not being family oriented for one. I remember discussing in therapy one time about how, you know, dealing with somebody whose family was very big on, you know, making me feel invited. That, it's like the enemy had tapped into something that I hadn't healed from. So I was willing to not see certain red flags based on I've never had that. I would overlook that versus, man, I ain't never had that. And
inclusion.
Yeah. To me, that's a spirit working. But as we look at it, it could also be probably what most people say, I guess, a soul tie to it. Because I've become attached to that emotionally based on something that was already working in me. So if you, and somebody told me one time, in fact, it was Tony, and shout out to Tony. She said, the enemy can't penetrate an area where you've healed. He's got to find crafty ways to attack areas where the Most High haven't gave you, or you haven't tapped into realizing. I know what that is. You know how to, man, no. I'm not giving you that energy. I'm not giving you that time. I'm not giving you that response. I've already dealt with that. I already know what this is. So you got to find a crafty way to creep in somewhere you haven't healed from. And yeah. So when it comes to that, I think those are spirits that are already working in people. And then you get with a man, example, you get with a man that's manipulative. You probably see them things in you. Probably play on them, complimented you a couple of times, took you out a couple of times, then put that pig on you. And in your mind, because you got your back blew out.
We go together.
And you ain't even peeped all the other stuff that played on your emotions that helped build, that escalated all of that. And now you trying to, and you saying it's a soul tie. The whole time it was a spirit already working in you. You already had it. And your flesh is weak and the spirit is willing. You gave into your flesh that was already working in that spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you probably saw certain things, probably, and then overlooked it because that spirit that was working in you already was just drawn to toxicity or some drama or something that you've never felt. That vulnerability, that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe your self-esteem was being or your confidence was coming back whole time, not knowing. Just like he took Yeshua up on that mountain and said, "I give you." You ain't realizing this is a moment where he tapping into a weakness,
right,
and saying, "It looked like it, don't it? Look like it, don't it? Look like it." And now you having a hard time to tap. And you said it was a soul tie whole time. It was a spirit you already had never dealt with or never faced and never, you know what I'm saying? That's why
man. I'm sitting here thinking about the power and the fallacy of escaping your reality, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whatever that thing is. Like, you can become somebody's escape. So it's both sides of it. The person that's wanting to not deal with whatever their reality is and find some other temporary thing, which sex was for a long time. It's something that I put in here, and I'm not even trying to.
come on with it.
Oh, I want to get it right.
Cause why he looking for that? Cause that was my vice. You know, some of my friends smoke, some of them drink, some of them gamble, some of them. Mine was. Let's see what we got. Sex does not heal brokenness. Be careful what you run to when you're emotionally injured. Go get the book.
So these are thoughts that I've had that I believe were divinely inspired, that I would just put up, and people would respond and it resonate with people. But in the book, I talk about how I got there and what I think the danger is for my children. It's Dear Son, but it's a parenting. Dear Son is just a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I tried to solve a lot with sex early on. Young, could handle my bills. I had my own spot, and the things that I was really needing in my life, I just replaced it with. And sometimes it was just more about the thrill. Like, it was never about treating a young lady or a woman bad, but it was like, man, and often it would be not an immediate regret, but a what's next. And that what's next is a slippery slope, because it becomes more about the challenge than it is actually even the act. The act was just, I had to do this because I had to be able to say I did that.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. Like,
yeah,
those conversations.
Yeah. That, like you said, that's a slip. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. And matter of fact, I was talking yesterday with some of my partners, and they was basically asking me about moments have I indulged in having platform versus and having access. And I was dead serious when I told them that's dangerous for me, because I know my past when I was in the streets chasing, you know, trying to fulfill whatever that was.
Yeah.
I was a junkie. I'm no different.
No different.
The minute they hit that and that first high, they chasing that first all over again for years.
Rest of your life.
Yes. With me, going back to being, you know what I'm saying, when I was a kid and that happened, I chased that feeling, even though it was wrong. Like I was, and man, doing that time kind of saved me in a sense, I believe. Because I was isolated. Now it transformed into me having to use my hand a lot, but not to just be transparent. But bro, by the time I was able to sit and realize, that's how I know the number. Like, I had so much time on my hand, I was able to go through the list. Now I was like, and I'm gonna go even deeper on that. It was in a short amount of time. We're talking about almost 100. I'm thinking 96, 97. The number, when you look at the time
condensed,
Yes, because I started getting locked up around 14, 15. First time I did 5 months, 5 days. Second time I did 10 months. Third time I did a year on the nose. November. I got locked up November. I think it was whatever it was November something. It was 2005. November 16th. I got out November 16th, 2006 on the nose. But if you count the years from 14 to 18 and you take out the times I was locked up, we're talking 18, 19 months, 90 something women. That's awful. So me able to sit back and look at that and come home and be, man, ain't no way I would do that. So when he asked me about the platform, I'm like, bro, it's dangerous for me.
Yeah.
Because the minute I start indulging, I'm not gonna have no desire for marriage. Being committed. Probably being committed to anything.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna spiral out of control for somebody like me. And it's always gonna be and if I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying, I can struggle with this sometimes. I've got a lot better. My mind, because of my past, still tells me it's always one better or always one look better. You don't know how good it could get better. And to me, that's a weakness in men when it comes to commitment. I don't want to do that.
So that you kind of put it, even whether it's like it's like the whole better chasing is it for a minute, and then you get to a point where it's like we talking about biology. I mean, the body acts the way it acts.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start. I shouldn't say then I started looking for it different. Like I'm a fan of that now.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of that now.
Yeah,
and it became less and less about the actual interaction as it was just I can't even say it was fetish really, but it was.
Let's go there.
I wonder about that.
Fetish. That's what, in my opinion, this is why we see so many people when they get rich like that.
Go on.
Your desires get to a point of that's not satisfying me no more.
What else can I pay for?
What else can I pay for?
Yeah.
Like, what will you do? And spirits, it was already there. The money came, the access came, the resources came. It fueled a bigger monster in you that you cannot even see. I seen that early on in the streets. Like, the more people said certain things, the more and more it fueled that fire. And being able to come down off of that high and really look at it, it was scary, if I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because I really seen how not only my life was spared physically, like being here, but I seen like, man, dude, do you not realize, like when you really take a look at yourself, commercial break me, please. If you really took a deep look at yourself, like the dark side of yourself, the thoughts you have, nobody get to hear, whether it be about you or situations or people or things that you want to indulge in and desires that you have that you shamed of.
Yeah.
How deep does that run? I have these kind of conversations with myself all the time. And sometimes I still have to admit, you a messed up individual. I have no problem with saying it because I know.
Yeah.
I know. Greed is I had two vices in this world. It was money and women. I know my two. So those two I pay way more close attention to, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
I have to say no more to certain things concerning them too.
Yeah.
Opportunity is certain things I have to say no to. Women access is certain things I have to not respond to. Because that's so long. You know what? I can get away with that. I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
Get away with that one too. She said, I know you got a little situation. I ain't, you good over here. See, I'm gonna indulge a little bit in conversation here and there just to see.
Test it out.
And then after so long, be like, she's straight, I'm gonna try it.
There ain't nothing left but to do it.
Listen.
The thing is, it never really gets to a point where it just happens. it typically has happened in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and then the opportunity presented itself, and you went with what you knew. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like that when you get a whole bunch of money things. But like when you start considering things, it's like I don't know how I got out of hand. You absolutely do, because you planned for it. You made it acceptable in your mind. So when it presented itself, there was not like you've already argued yourself as to why the one time you would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything after that is just rinse and repeat. Nah, you know what I mean? I got a, you know what I mean? Got a situation. Is it?
It's a scripture.
By the time, go on with it.
Go ahead.
By the time you get to, with the opportunity presented itself, you probably already weighed the negatives too. Like, man, well, if I do get caught, it's.
Yes. Or you already done created a lie. That you
believe.
Yeah, that you believe.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's the scripture I was going to hit for that. What you were saying in the context of it said, don't make provision for the flesh. There are people like you're making plans for your flesh. You're already trying to figure out how to get away with it. What's the excuse? Why you want to indulge, and why you're making provision for it. And like you said, when the opportunity presents it,
it's already okay to you.
Yeah. You made provision for it.
Man, so this is easy to pull in some current stuff. Like with the whole money thing, I think that's the whole Diddy show. Is once you get what else is there left to try?
And Epstein.
That part. And you get so much money that you think any of your problems can go away because of money, or you think so little of people are so far beneath you that if they thought something of you, it doesn't matter because I'm wealthy and powerful.
What they would say him.
But the one that's cycling through now is Shannon Sharp. And it's we don't know the ins and outs of actually what happened. And I'm not even talking about whether things were legal. That is an issue. I'm not dismissing that. The law will figure that out. The trial will figure that out. But I'm thinking, like, it's easy to put so much logic into somebody else's situation when you're not in that situation. Everybody's like, why would you, are you 53? Why would you be, what's interesting about a 19-year-old?
I know what it is.
Because I can. Because I can. Like, and the more times that works out, it's cool until it doesn't work out. So while I am on the side of me, if I'm 45, what is the conversation? I have a 21-year-old.
Man.
He has, I think, 30-year-old
man
children. And it's just like, it's crazy how the blinders, I guess that's where I want to go with it. Like what those blinders are that make you believe you're invincible.
Demonic influence. Demonic influence is the reason why most people feel that way. Shannon Sharp, in my opinion, sick. What you see money, you see power, see whatever that is your eye look at. He got a podcast, millions of viewers. Championship, one of the best. What was he, a linebacker? Whatever the case may be. He got all the accolades. He got all tight end. He's got all the accolades. He got dermatology. If you want to get into skin, look, he's got a personal trainer. All these things. He's got, then on top of everything, like I said, got money. Demonic influence on a level like that. Resources of people you can get in touch with. How old was the girl?
I think she was 19 when they started.
19,
21,
19. Ain't no excuse for none of it. I hope she get to 50. And I hope she get to 50. And a lot of black men or black women will probably look at it like they keep taking from us. Now they keep putting themselves in them types of predicaments.
We keep offering.
Yeah. Smack him upside his head. Like, hey, come on, bro. 18, 19, sick. Because if that's the case, because he want to say, because I ain't scared of nobody, first and foremost. And Shannon Sharp was supposed to have me on stage, so we're gonna keep on. We're gonna go and shoot off on him anyway. So
the more you know.
With that being said, if he want to say
for real,
yeah, okay. He want to say it was role playing. Right? If that's the case, how many more can come out if he paid it 50?
Well, I don't know.
The Me Too train is.
There was a rumor that something else had already surfaced. I don't have the details, but
And that going back to my homeboy asking, why not indulge? Because that's the route.
It's probably not a one-timer or
It's
one
impossible.
person. Yeah.
It's impossible. When stuff like that come out, trust me, it's a long line of them. It's a long line of them because I ain't even nowhere near. And I know what my DM look like at times. I know what kind of offers I get. I know what kind of, hey, my husband just left.
Flag them down.
Willing to pay me with their husband money. They stay at home wives. Pool in the back.
Raul, you pool boy.
I done been offered flights. To me, I ain't nobody. So I can only imagine. What?
Yeah.
Pictures, videos.
My DMs look nothing like that.
Man.
My DMs are post collaborations and
owned it.
Brand offerings.
I think it was a beautiful thing when Yeshua, who we know as Jesus Christ, said, every man to one woman and every woman to one man. It's protection there.
It's as much as we want, like some things I just don't fight. Even if I don't like it, if it's thus said the Lord, I'm like, yeah, he was really cold with that one. He was really cold because it ain't, I mean, once you get through the experience and you be honest with yourself, it's like, man, I probably could have done without a lot of those experiences in terms of how it affects me and impacts me. Now, I mean, it's great to use your history as your testimony, but sometimes you ain't gotta mash the gas.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta go all the way cross country.
Not for real.
To tell you what it's like to drive.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta go all the way.
Yeah. Let me ask you this real quick while we on Shay Shay.
Yeah.
One of the Cat Williams interview that kind of just went crazy. It was a monster sitting across that table. Cat Williams said all of that stuff, he sit there because he knew based on views, exposure, what he said about people, what type of stuff they indulge in, whole time, he one of them. Benefited off that. The whole internet went crazy. Everybody talking about how he was the one who did the interview, this, and that. Why you can't be honest?
He was telling somebody, I forgot what comedian it was that had a Ashley Larry. My bad. Is that Donnell Rollins?
Mm-hmm.
They pulled a clip up of him talking about why his baby's mother was so much younger, like why he was engaging with somebody. And I don't even think the age disparity is nearly as great. It was big hypocritical energy. And I don't know Shannon, I never met him, but it looked like his interviews it's like formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bunch of questions. He go in his laugh. He go, "Oh, you can't do that." It's the ignorance is thrown in there, and then it's the the salacious stuff thrown in there, and it's doing numbers. So I'm not hating, but it's something to sit in that space for so long and pull people to the carpet where you already are. Just don't nobody know.
Don't nobody know. Dangerous. Hypocrite.
Yeah.
What that is.
Yeah.
You cool with exposing people.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm mindful of what I say. Not that I have a desire to say anything wild, just to get. It's so many people that can check me, that will check me in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
On anything I say.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to have.
Yeah.
Accountability is great to have.
Can't lose it.
Yeah. And accountability is great to have from other people. To hold yourself accountable is a whole different thing. So to be able to sit there, because you could put me on any couch, it wouldn't matter who it is. If we having a conversation and something come up where I'm willing to say something about somebody else and my thought is running, you know you done did something like that. Ain't no way I don't expose myself first.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
And that'll never change because that's protection for my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even that I'm worried about somebody else that exposed me. I operate in the spirit of give, relate, resonate, help people.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I'm sitting up here talking and he laughed. What? Like that? We playing cat.
Yeah.
Whole time. Come on now.
You think he protected? That's what I'm saying. How the blindness be that crazy? I don't never want to be in that place in my life. I mean, y'all can run this episode up 100 million views if you want to.
Facts.
I wouldn't have any issue with that.
Deserve it. I'm gonna tell you why it won't. Yet. Spirits, because what attracts certain spirits.
Yeah.
It's gossip over here.
Yeah.
It's healing over here.
Yeah.
You ain't ready to heal.
Yeah. I responded to somebody else. I was like, man, I know a slow bubble over here because Like, man, this needs to see, I hope this joint blow. I don't know what it's gonna do. I'm doing what I'm told to do.
It's gonna get there.
But
it's gonna attract the right people.
Yeah.
And we want to reach that.
Yeah.
This conversation we have is so powerful, bro. A celebrity can sit in a chair, really there to promote something, and they already multimillionaires.
Yeah.
I brought this up before. My guy promoted his book, Dijon. You promote your book. What is it? 20 life. What is this?
20 life prompts.
20 life prompts that facilitate effective parenting, positive, healthy. Yeah. I remember when I first dropped my book and I was promoting it, a girl jumped in my comment section and she was like, "Ain't nobody trying to buy that book." And it was a white girl who said it. A black girl went through her page, and just a few days before that, she had went to an event when 50 Cent was there and had the book like this. And she came back and she said, "But you wouldn't have supported a multimillionaire, and you ain't want to support somebody that's on their grind, that's got a testimony that's helping people." It's exactly what you just said. He got a book right now. It's people who watching this who done supported celebrities, done said happy birthday, but I guarantee you, the people who has watched, for some reason, you ain't said, "Let me reach it. Let me send a super chat. Let me, because for some reason we get in a space in our mind where the numbers and all it, and that's insane to me, bro.
I promise you this isn't staged. This is not staged at all.
Nah, this ain't staged. It's the spirit. But how many times have you done that? While my guy looking for that commercial, break me, please. How many times have you not supported your loved ones, your family members that you have seen grinding, coming up, starting a business, and you just overlooked it, ain't shared it, ain't commented, or you just feel like that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that the scriptures say that a prophet is without honor in his own country. That's the same way when it comes to support. For some reason, especially in the Black community first, we go and support other people that ain't connected to us, show love that ain't connected to us in that form. But for some reason, when you see somebody with some status, you willing to spend whatever. It's people who spend I don't know how much y'all spending for them Beyonce tickets, but it's over.
It's her last tour too.
It's over 1,000.
For her regular tour. I think she just last her farewell.
Yeah, you spending 1,000 to see Chris Brown. Your cousin got a t-shirt business that cost $15. You ain't even got the shirt, whether you want to wear it or not. You went and ordered the tickets, 1,000. And then told your homegirl if she wanted to go, you got half of it because you ain't want to go by yourself.
There it is right there.
Let me see what we got.
Here we go. Proximity to popularity doesn't yield success. Be mindful of the circles you seek.
Y'all heard it.
This is not staged, people.
You heard it here first. Dear Son Network. God, get to working, man. Get to working. Then before you know it, man, people who was like, you got to come.
Yeah. I mean, clap whenever you clap, I'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I'm well aware of when it happened.
When it happened. Exactly.
And maybe God's working on me on that.
So what's your opinion on Soul Ties? How you feel about it after listening to this conversation? Do you feel like it could be something that was already, working in you?
Yeah.
Just, got a hold of something and feel like,
Know what I found going through the scriptures, man? The New Testament from Acts to Revelations. There's this quiet, continuous theme of God addressing sexual immorality.
It is.
And when I think about weaknesses, that's top of the list.
Mine too. It most definitely is. Like I literally have to have a conversation about that on the regular.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't even want to say it wins because I've started to acknowledge it more.
Yeah.
But it's one of them. It's probably one of them battles I'm gonna take to the grave. But I'd rather go battling versus giving in.
Yes.
Yeah. Versus I ain't surrendered to it. I'd rather go fighting it, knowing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I said no. Well, other times, knowing he seen me, I don't even know why I looked around.
Ain't nowhere else to look.
But yeah, so yeah, man. I'm glad we discussed that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we discussed that. But I'm good, man. Y'all already know what it is. You got something else you want to add?
Two grown men just had a conversation.